Welcome back, swordsman, to Kingdom Hearts: Dawn of Fractured Memory. Last we left off, I was giving our key bearers emotional damage. Oh shit, I forgot to do the voice. Stephen He, if you ever watch this, don't come after me. But I gave these characters emotional damage! Okay, now we gotta take a shot.
Don't forget about the paging corn.
Yeah.
Those two go together.
Jesus.
Give a person for their birthday emotional damage and paging corn.
At the mention of Beijing corn, Carlos starts coughing. Last we left off, our players started to explore the castle shadows, and each found their way into facing off against their respected adversaries. Ken, being the lone wolf, decided to face Dark Ken. Yeah, no, I did that on purpose because Lone Lion doesn't really sound right.
I guess yeah.
Isui and Ven faced off against Arya and Vanitas,
Let's go.
which honestly made a lot more sense than it should have. And Crystalina and Asta faced off against Colfax and the Beowulf. In this amazing three-way split battle, which lasted a lot longer than anyone thought it would, our players ended up being victorious. Ken literally started beating the ever-living shit out of Neck.
First 10 minutes finished.
barely 10 minutes. Isui, instead of beating the ever-living shit out of Arya, managed to actually convince Arya that what she was doing was not probably for the best. And Arya was actually able to be persuaded into helping Ven and Isui beat the ever-living crap out of Vanitas. Asta and Crystalina were having a little difficulty trying to face off against Colsax and the Beowulf, leading to Crystalina being knocked unconscious. But as Colsax and Crystalina were both kind of tied to the heart, take a shot. No. Crystalina was able to kind of able to communicate with Lucas's spirit, heart, however the hell you want to say about it. But it led to the point where Lucas decided to try and basically this is kind of a really revamped Terra situation almost.
Pretty much.
And it led to all three sides of the Cult of Shadows being brutally defeated. And that is where we are now. Okay, so Angel, pick a number between 1 and 6. Ah, shit.
4.
Okay, Carlo.
Because it's never odd.
Fuck did dice go?
I'll go with 5.
Alright.
You got it right.
Roz.
3.
Yeah.
3, 4, and 5. Good lord. Alright, well, I'm...
That way, I'm
Alright.
kind of fucked either way. If it's like on the lower end, Ross gets
It would have to be exact.
Okay. Why must you guys do
Okay,
this to me?
and the number is 6. Okay, so we're gonna start with Asta and an unconscious Crystalina. Asta, you are just getting done with beating the ever-living shit out of the Beowulf. You see Kristalina is unconscious. You see Colsax coming down from a rage after, for kind of much to your surprise, taking his weapon and helping you beat the ever-living shit out of the Beowulf. Yeah, you just basically got done beating the ever-living crap out of this wolf heartless. You see that as it sort of lays there completely dead, it kind of starts to disappear in sort of a particle effect as you watch its form disappear, and from it you see a heart start to just kind of float on off.
Yes.
The first thing I want to do is run over and get Kristalina conscious with Cure Wounds or a potion.
Okay.
And then, do you want me to roll for
that? Which one are you going to be doing? Cure Wounds or a potion?
I'll go ahead and use a potion.
Alright, yeah, roll for that if you would be so kind.
I'll use a high potion, so 15.
You pop the cork off the potion, you start to pour it into Kristalina's mouth. You see that some of the bruises from being frickin' brutally beaten by Colsax's staff start to kind of heal, and you see her chest start to sort of lift and lower itself, and she is still alive.
Thank God.
Okay. You see Colsax. First off, after the Beowulf disappeared, he lowered his weapon, kind of makes his way over to Kristalina, and he just kind of looks to you and goes, "Is she gonna be alright?"
She should be.
You see he lets out a sigh of relief, and he's just kind of is kind of like standing there next to you and is like, "I didn't want any of this to happen.
I don't know what happened with you and the Cult of Shadows, but the fact that you decided to help us means a lot."
Well, you can thank Kristalina on that one. It's kind of a little complicated to explain, but let's just say that I'm not necessarily going to be on Mordred's good side, and even then, I really wasn't on his good side to begin with.
None of us are either, to be honest.
You see, he kind of chuckles and he's like, "Look, I'd help you out more if I could, but there's only so much that I can do, and yes, I helped you with the Beowulf and whatnot, but anything more, and Mordred will, let's just say it's not entirely nice."
I understand. You have to keep yourself safe too. But thank you for not being too evil now.
kind of smiles a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, look, I never really wanted to fight you guys. It's just ever since whatever happened in Twilight Town, and Mordred's just kind of had me in this sort of thrall of sorts. You see, he kind of pulls on his hood a bit, and you can see that along, sort of on his neck, you see sort of purplish glowing mark that looks similar to the Heartless emblem, but in sort of the center where the heart is, you see sort of a calligraphied X over it.
Do you know exactly how his power over you works?
He covers the mark and he goes, I don't know, it's... The only thing that I do know is that part of it wasn't entirely from him. It was from some guy who ran a group of nobodies a long time ago. Now, I don't know if that means that Mordred found this guy and asked him how it all worked, or if Mordred figured it out on his own, or something. I just know it has to do with something called the Fractured Nexus. Mordred would go into details about it, but I just know that it's important, and however Mordred figured it out, he's the main reason why it still kind of takes hold at this point.
That's weird. We've never heard of them before. I'm sure once we figure out all of this, we can get you help, though.
He nods, grabs his weapon and goes, you should be able to go back through the door that you came in. Once there, I'm sure Mordred will be able to find you sooner or later, but either way, just give him hell.
Oh, yeah.
You better believe we will.
And you see he smiles, looks at Crystalina one more time, and he goes, if we're lucky, we should be able to maybe see you guys later.
Oh, that would be nice to know you under less violent circumstances.
You see him chuckle, and he just kind of starts to walk off. You see a dark corridor appears in front of him, and he disappears.
I would like to, if Crystalline is not conscious, call Ken.
Oh.
Okay. And actually, before we get to that, Ken, we'll move on to you, because that's honestly a perfect transition. You just got done beating the ever-living shit out of Dark Ken.
You can see he's kind of just watching over Dark Ken after the fight. He's just kind of just sitting on one of the steps that he was on in the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
When he was in his dress. He's just sitting there just like just looking at him, just on the floor, unconscious. Oh, and then he's gonna whip out his phone. And he's gonna whip out his phone, and then he's gonna call Riku.
Oh.
You whip out your phone, you give it a ring. You see Riku's face show up on the gummy phone. It looks like that he's right out front of a gummy ship, possibly just right outside.
Yo.
He goes, Ken, hi, is everything alright?
Yes, everything is going according to plan. I just took down Dark Ken. And, now all I'm trying to do is figure out now that he's subdued, how do I get him back in? Or more like, I need to figure out a way to put him back as like a part of me, because I want to give him a vessel, but I don't want to have to carry around a body everywhere, so I want to put him back into me. Is there a way I can do that?
You see, Riku kind of thinks for a second and goes, well, I don't entirely know for sure. I mean, you said that Colsax was the one who did this in the first place, so he'd be the only one that would maybe know. In terms of separating a heart from a body, the only other person that I can think of that has been able to do that is Xehanort, maybe. He kind of turns inside and is like, "Hey, Axel, do you have any idea how Xehanort turned all you guys into nobodies?" You hear from like the distance in his Gumby phone, Axel just kind of goes, "I don't know, just use a keyblade or something." Really? That's the best thing you can come up with? You got a better idea? Well, no. Well, then there you go. Riku kind of turns back to the phone to you and is like, well, that might actually be your best bet.
Well, here's the thing. That usually would work, but what if this, thing doesn't have a heart? I mean, I guess it has a heart, considering it's a part of me, but I mean, I still have my heart. You can't just create two hearts out of nowhere, and he's not even, he's just supposed to be just a manifestation of my dark. Well, you know what? Maybe if I absorb the darkness that comes out of it, if I were to,
Only one way to find out. Look, we're right outside the castle. Aqua and a couple of the others have been trying to deal with some Heartless, and you see he stops for a second, looks, and is like, "Wait, is someone coming out of the castle?"
What?
Look, Ken, I'm sure you're going to be able to figure this out. We'll talk later, alright? Looks like someone's coming out. We'll talk to you in a sec. And he hangs up.
Alrighty. And he looks down at him, he's like, "Well, buddy, I'll make sure to keep my promise." And he pulls out his keyblade. And then he just kind of he's just so, just really, really hoping that this would work. He doesn't want to end up killing him. Well, I mean, the keyblades can't really kill people.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Parts, but you don't want to,
excuse me,
put him and then have the darkness just spread and just go dissipate into the, I don't know. He's just going to
he's going to do a thing.
Hit him. He's gonna do a final blow, because I'm pretty sure his health is at like 1 HP.
Shit.
So
yeah,
or at 0, but still unconscious.
You bring your Keyblade to Darken, and just as you do, you see the tip of it sort of illuminate. You see that from the chest of Darken, sort of dark tendrils of flame start to kind of spew out. At first it kind of starts out small, and then it starts to increase more and more, and I just realized we don't have music. What the hell is wrong with me?
Honestly,
there we go.
It's actually setting the mood. So yeah, as this stuff is coming out of him, he's gonna try his best to stand in the middle of it and concentrate.
Hold on. Oh, that's why. Okay.
Wait.
I don't think the queue got cleared last time round, so it's still on the combat music.
Shit, I mean, I didn't know it was up, so I turned it up, and then it scared me.
Yeah. There we go. You see that the dark flames kind of start to spew more and more until it's ends up being almost a mini explosion. The replica body itself is still intact, but now the room is sort of the light around the room starts to kind of get a little darker and darker. And as you kind of stand there, Keyblade in hand, hoping to God or whatever Kingdom Hearts prays to.
Yeah, he's trying to like kind of like focus it all into him, like closing his eyes, making sure to bring and absorb it, kind of like how he did before.
You focus on trying to absorb all the darkness energy that is coming out, and you see that after this sort of explosion of fire and darkness, the sort of purplish black flames start to latch first onto your Keyblade, and then it sort of starts to creep up with every latch. It starts at sort of like the tip, then it gets like mid shaft, closer to the hilt, on the hilt, and then it starts to reach your arm. And this kind of continues to the point until it reaches your chest, to where the energy is kind of siphoning from the explosion towards your Keyblade, up your arm, and into your chest. This sort of excess energy sort of swirling around you. And I'm gonna say give me a Constitution saving throw to see how you're taking this.
Pretty used to it. Let me see. Why is my character not pulled up? Okay, there we go. All right. Con save. Here we go.
Let's go, Con.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not like it was going to be a high-ass DC anyway. As this is sort of happening, you feel once again the sort of sharp pain in your chest, just almost like a dagger. But you can also feel the energy sort of starting to seep into you. It's almost as excruciating as it was when Colsax first pulled Darken out of your heart back at the Caribbean. And your vision kind of almost starts to blur out and blacken for a sec, but you are still conscious, you are still awake, you are still able to kind of push through in this, but just barely. The energies, the excess energy that's swirling around you starts to kind of decrease and compress to around you until it gets to a point where it stops and dissipates.
All right. Okay, first of all, that's a damn good description of what happened. Good job. I like that. Second of all, I guess when he opens his eyes finally, well, I mean, I guess I can just describe this. I want his eyes when he opens them, he's gonna have like a quick flash of yellow, and then he's gonna go back to blue. Like it's finally coming in. I guess it finally came back.
Yeah. You open your eyes, they flash the yellow of darkness before they sort of settle back in. You look towards the body itself. Hold on, I am multitasking right now while I'm doing this. You look sorry. Alright, I'll just write the rest of that later. You look towards the body of what was Darken, and you just see a blank replica. This sort of almost plastic-like mannequin. with blank expressions, pure white, laying down on the ground beneath you. You see that your Keyblade is not only glowing with the same energy as it usually does, but part of it is still kind of glowing with that energy of darkness. And for the first time in a while, you feel whole. You feel your complete self.
And he's gonna kind of just kind of collapse onto the floor, but not like in a fainty kind of way, but kind of just like lands on his ass, and he's gonna be like, "Man, that felt like something." And he's gonna kind of look at the replica, and he's gonna kind of move it off to the side, like kind of like angrily kick it off to the side because it's like that thing is corrupted. And he's gonna, for the first time in a long time, gonna concentrate and see if he can communicate with him again.
You sort of close your eyes in an attempt to connect with Darken, and for a second it's a little tricky because it's been a long-ass time since you've had to try and attempt this. But sort of after a couple of minutes, you kind of hear a voice. Well, I gotta admit, you got me there. You open your eyes and you see Darken sort of sitting there next to you, looking a little bit different this time around. He still kind of has that sort of darkened brown, bronze skin. A little bit paler this time, but it's still there for the most part. His hair now sort of completely matching your short hair. And while his hair was originally sort of just a pure Xehanort white, you can actually see this time it's more of the same color as yours, black, but it has a couple of the sort of Xehanort white streaks within it.
Is this the real him? Can he like sense it?
While you are sort of surprised at how this looks, you do feel that this is still technically Darken.
All right, and he's gonna like open his eyes to him. He's gonna be like, "Is that you?" Oh.
You see him kind of smile and look towards you, and he goes, "Yeah, it's still me, you idiot."
Oh my god! He's gonna kind of like run, and he's gonna embrace him. He's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I miss you!" Oh. And he's gonna kind of like loudly crying. And
you go over to embrace him, and it's kind of like one of those Peter Capaldi Doctor Who moments. And he's just like, okay, that's enough. Break it off.
Oh man, I've been trying my hardest to get you back, and I feel so whole again.
He sighs and he's like, okay, yeah, no, despite all things, I missed you too, yeah.
Oh.
Now, I will definitely make sure I continue my promise. I know that wasn't really you speaking back there, but I can kind of sense that you did not want to spend the rest of your life inside of me. So I will find a way to make sure Ienzo can, get you a true form.
You see him kind of smiling. He's like, again, you might want to take a look at yourself.
I don't look any different, do I? Is it... Do I, Did I...
Wait.
What did I do?
No.
You find the sort of closest reflectable surface, whether it's like
Wait.
table or gummy phone, whatever. You look and you see that your appearance is pretty much close to the same as Dark Ken's. I mean, yours is still this sort of whitish complexion that you've had, but it's looking a little more bronzer. But your hair, for the most part, is pretty much identical, where you have just a couple of white streaks within your hair.
Holy shit.
Whoa, what happened here? He looked at his hair and face. Are my eyes yellow? Or are they still blue?
No, they're still blue.
Okay. Whoa, what happened here?
You see Darken kind of chuckle, and he goes, well,
What the fuck?
let's just say that you've changed.
Holy
And honestly, I don't mean it as in a, oh no, you're gonna turn evil change. No. That ship has sailed even before it was in dock.
So, what does this mean? You know, it's not hard to figure out how much of an idiot I am, so... What does that mean?
It means you great. It means that you made it your own.
Oh,
Darkness, what the light, the balance.
Wait,
Wait.
you mean that I did the thing that I set out to do?
Well, I mean,
Well,
you've
that's
started to. I mean, you've started to. You scratched the surface of it, but essentially, yeah.
Holy shit.
He kind of like is just in awe because there's like this was pretty much impossible by anyone that he's known. So he's just like, wow. I don't know what to say. I mean, he's just like stammering.
Let me put it this way for you, Ken. Granted, you probably have a lot of questions, but first off, you really thought I turned evil? Like, I mean, I know I'm darkness and everything, but dude, he just kind of gestures to himself and he's like, I have way more fucking style than any of those guys.
Well, no, it's more like not you turned evil. I think I thought that they did something to you to make you do something.
He just kind
I
of
don't
scoffs
know.
and he's like, he's like, oh fucking please, it was an act.
Wait. No, that's not a thing. No,
What?
you can't succeed at the thing that I try to do.
What? Protecting your friends?
No,
I was
trying to infiltrate that.
Okay. I'll
Wait.
agree. Your idea was stupid as shit. But
What?
Colsax already yeeted me out and threw me into that. He points over to the replica. I'll admit, it was unexpected, but
Physical form, he didn't.
It was the only way to ensure that you wouldn't do anything stupid to the point of getting yourself. And he just kind of does the gesture.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Is this a trick? Is this an act? How do I know you're not acting right now?
Give me an insight check.
Holy shit.
Oh jeez. That means he did the thing that I was trying to do before. How fucking weird is that? But also kind of funny. At the end, he fails that. Yep.
Yeah, no, granted, you're still a little weirded out by all this, but it seems like he's telling the truth.
Okay, well... Good on you for fooling me?
Well, I mean, it wasn't that hard.
Okay. Well, do you still want a body for your own?
You see, he kind of chuckles and he's like, you're still not getting it, are you?
I don't know. I have so many questions.
But he's saying.
Okay. Let's talk about these things one thing at a time. First off, hi, good to see you again. You're still an idiot.
Wait.
Secondly,
that hasn't changed.
Secondly, do you have any idea how easy it is to infiltrate a group known as the Cult of Shadows when you're literally in a manifestation of darkness? And don't get me started on Vanitas. He claims to be darkness. He's maybe half right at best.
Well, I mean, that's the reason why I came up with the thing in the first place. Because, you know, I mean, I guess we had the potential to do that.
Oh, yeah, no.
But, I mean,
don't get me wrong. They still wanted the son of Xehanort. But only because of some scheme that Mordred was cooking up with the frickin' head honcho, whatever the hell he is. Apparently, it had something to do with some event. I don't know. Details on that are still kind of weird. But the point is, Mordred kept on talking about something called the Fractured Nexus.
The Fractured Nexus.
yeah, I did see something about that in one of the in the conference room area thing. I only saw like
sweet, you're playing detective now. How well's that going?
It did. I couldn't read some of it.
Well, that's not surprising. Anyway, I don't know
It was
what
in
it
a
is.
different language.
No, yeah, that's fair. Anyway, I don't know exactly what it is. I just know that Mordred's planning to try and access this to bring whoever the hell is considered their quote-unquote boss here.
Fractured Nexus to bring their boss here from...
Well,
if I'm right.
I guess it's our job to make sure he doesn't do that then. It's a good thing that we took down Mordred once, and then we threw him into and then they threw him into a closet, and then they
there's been a couple of jokes about that already, but moving on from that. Second part of the question. First off, have you noticed that we look a lot the same? Even more so now.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Wait,
but I mean, you know, we're still two separate. Well, I mean, I guess we're still like you're still considered like a separate entity from me. We have different thoughts and stuff. So I mean, even if you
became regular again.
did like
No fucking
leave and go into a new body, we would still be, you know, different people. As like, but like separate into it, like that way you don't have to be confined.
And chuckles and he's like, it's not going to be as easy as that.
If Colsax can do it, I'm pretty sure Yanzo can.
Golsax is following rules of logic that even Mordred doesn't entirely understand. And honestly, I'm surprised that Mordred was even able to place some sort of thrall onto Golsax. I don't know. Honestly, the kid basically fell into a trap, and now he's just trying to make sure that he doesn't get turned into a dusk or just basically get erased.
All right. Well, anyways, back to the main question. The one, do you still want a there's that one over there. Now that I know you were just putting on an act, I thought that thing was just corrupted with evil. So I guess it's not. I can take that to Ienzo, and we can do the thing that he did with Namine that one time, and so we could, yeah.
Ken, you're sweet. You're a sweet guy. But the fact that right now we're looking more the same than we ever did means that we're closer to becoming the same person. It is sort of balance in between.
Wait, so we're merging?
Oh, that's one way to say it, but I guess another way to say it is to say that the two sides that have been kind of fighting each other are starting to now see a sort of balance. It is sort of in between. For a long time, you've been always trying to fight for the light, using the light. I kept on trying to, do the more darker things, but
I use the darkness here and there in every fight that we've been to.
Well, yeah. But don't get me wrong, you've always had this sort of inlaying fear about it. I mean, come on. If you weren't somewhat afraid of it, I wouldn't be here.
Wait, but I don't want to merge. I still enjoy you being here. I just got you back.
You're not technically losing me.
Kinda am, because if we merge, then you won't be here, and we'll just be one person, and then I'll just be me with just darkness in me. So I would technically not have a second voice to.
He puts his hand on your shoulder and he's like, when's that ever been a bad thing? Look, I get it.
It is now.
You've got people for you, Ken. You've got Asta, you've got Kristalina, you've got friends among friends, and you've got someone that you're willing to fight for. Seems like you have all the second voices you need.
Yeah, but this one here is also important. You can have all these things too.
Alright, look, I know you're upset about this, but honestly, to this point, I'm actually okay with it.
Of course
yes,
you
it was
are.
annoying. Oh, well, fuck you too. Moving on. I'll admit that being two people in one body was... that idea of, how... It was a little cramped, to say the least, but this way... Well... I'll be okay. And you'll probably be even better off.
Well, what if I don't want to merge? Don't we both have to accept it? I don't want to merge.
Merge layers.
It's a bit late for that now. You see that as he's sort of talking, part of him is slowly starting to get a little more and more transparent.
Wait, I didn't. He's saying this, trying to stammer, trying to like get as many words out as he possibly can.
You see
Maybe
Dark.
upset.
You see Neck kind of chuckle, and he's like, "Don't worry about it. Besides, it's not like I'm going to be gone forever. In some ways, my power is also your power, which means I'll still be able to fight alongside you, no matter what. All right."
Okay. I'll miss
By the
you.
way, have you ever? I'll miss you too. By the way, have you ever told that chick that you love her?
God.
No.
You might want to get to that.
Yeah. He kind of just sits there silently, just almost like tearing up.
He smiles. And he's like, "Hey, remember what that old coot told us?
Your heart.
Well, told you, I guess, but either way, your heart's the guiding key.
Oh.
So long as you got that, I'm still gonna be right there with you, bud."
He shakes his head. Goodbye.
To an extent,
Yeah.
I guess. Go kick some ass.
Yeah.
And with that, he slowly just kind of starts to dissipate. And as that happens, you see sort of all the particles that he sort of dissipated from kind of go into your keyblade.
I got a cool thing I want to say as he opens his eyes.
Sorry, I'm multitasking right now, so
Hang on, I need a tissue. Hang on, I'm sorry.
Oh. And when push comes to shove, I look you, I love your friends and family.
I was not. I was not.
To remind you of my love. Da, 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 da.
Alright. So, as the particles of Neck go into your keyblade, you actually gain a new ability with your lion heart.
I'm sorry, that caught me off guard. F's in the chat. Alright. Wait, is that a... Is it?
Should be able to see it.
I don't think I can.
Try sending it to him on Discord.
Hold on. Let me do
There it is. Tip.
show players again. There we go.
Oh.
3 different levels. Oh. I'm killing all of your friends and family to remind you of my love.
Oh. Oh. Oh, cool.
I mean, I wasn't gonna have him.
There.
I mean, I wasn't gonna have him completely yeet out of the campaign.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that warms my heart.
Yeah. After this, you get a ring-a-ding-dong from Asta.
Also, as he's like opening his eyes after from talking this, I kind of want, okay, for like, I guess a character design perspective, one of his eyes are gonna be blue and one of his eyes are gonna be yellow.
Oh,
I will allow this.
Just to kind of like it's not like showing he's evil, just like showing them that now he's whole and they're both. It's like Legion. They're many. They're one.
Yep.
Oh.
And after this, you get a ring-a-ding-dong from Asta.
Alright. He's just okay. So before he answers, he's just gonna like just clean himself up. He's like, oh, okay, I need to go back to my friends. Hey, Asta, what's up?
I was just, I had some new information. Are you alright?
I'm perfectly fine. How are you?
I'm good. Crystalline is unconscious right now, but she'll be fine.
Good. I mean, not good that she's out, but good that she'll be alright.
Yeah, I've heard some interesting things from Colsax. I guess he's gonna try and, he helped us defeat the, Beowulf, but he can't really help us now, or else Colsax will mess with him. I don't know, there's a weird mark on his neck, and he says it's connected to the fractured nexus. Have you heard of that before?
Yes. I read about that, and in one of the conference rooms I visited, and apparently, as from recent information I just obtained through non-emotional means, he is apparent. They're trying to like bring their master from the fractured nexus to here, and pretty much. I'm assuming that they need to like use their symbols or something like that to bring him here, but that or something. I don't know, but I just know that they're all trying to bring their master here.
So about as weird as we've been used to.
Pretty much, yeah. Except without the dialogue the monologues that they give out. Also, you said that Colsax helped you out?
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but Crystalina seemed to get through to Lucas. But
Is
I
he
guess he's
still
still
Colsax?
partially under Mordred's control, so he can't fully help us out.
How is this Heartless doing?
The Beowulf?
Yeah.
It's dead.
So his heart
gone.
his heart has been released?
Yeah, seems so. We beat it up quite a lot.
And then he kind of like, you can't really see this, but he's just like smirking, just like the Grinch smile.
Oh God!
I may or may not have a way of getting this Lucas guy back, but you guys are gonna be a little shocked. You guys might not like it, but it's gonna work. I know for a fact because it's worked before with Heartless and Nobodies. So
Does it involve What? No, what does it involve? I'm only
It
concerned
involves
now.
me beating the ever-living shit out of him until his body pretty much collapses, and then his heart gets back into its body. When you defeat the heartless and the nobody of the one person, they rejoin and they form the original person.
You're sure? Maybe we should talk to Enzo about some better methods or
We
something.
can actually talk to Axel. We can talk to Ienzo, yes, because he was once that. We can talk to Alexius. We can talk to not Alexius. I guess his name is
Something
name again?
else. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Something. Yeah. We can talk to one of the two guards, the one with the braids and one with the big chungus chin. And we can pretty much ask anybody who was once a nobody.
Right.
It'll work. Trust me. Or
Right.
I can just contact them quickly if you want.
Sure. Did you find out anything else though?
No. No.
Nothing else happened.
Nothing.
All right.
I got a new haircut.
What?
And-
Why are you cutting your hair in the important of this? In the
Well-
middle of this important mission.
Well, you can kind of see it. Well, it's not really cut. It's more like it's different. And my eyes.
Oh,
I got some. Yeah. I'll tell you all guys about it, but you know.
okay. Yeah. Do you want to meet up with Isui potentially?
Yes. You're so. As a quick thing, you're already like completely done with everything on your end.
Yeah. Colsack's left, so it's just me and Kristalina here.
All right, let me give Isui a quick ring, make sure she's not into any trouble, and I'll call you back, and we'll find a way to see what happens.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right.
Bye. And he hangs up.
All right. With that, let's actually cut over to Isui while we're here. Isui, you're in this garden. You, Ven, and Arya just got done beating the ever-living crap out of Vanitas.
Let me check what spots I have left real quick. Okay. How does Arya look? Is she like bruised?
Let me actually double check because I don't remember what health she was at last time. She looks. She's looking a little beaten and bruised. Ven, however, is just looking completely SOL.
Okay. So she is going to. Man, I wish I had that sick cure wounds ring. But she's just going to. She's going to give Ventus a second level healing word. There's that. Wow. Awful rolls. I mean,
Alright. Alright. You see some of his wounds kind of start to either... Some of the smaller scratches and shit start to kind of heal up, but larger stuff just kind of slightly shrinks.
clap his shoulder once to say, you alright, Ventus? It seems you took a hell of a lot of blows back there.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little tired, but I mean, I'm okay.
Okay, that's good. I'm gonna turn to Arya and ask, you feeling alright?
You see, she looks at you, helmet still on. She's like, I don't know.
You're probably feeling really conflicted right now. But I want you to know that I am thankful that you helped us beat up Vanitas. And I know that when you were young and he corrupted your heart and took you into darkness, he took that choice away from you to be who you want to be. And I summon Peacekeeper again. And I hold it by the blade and then hold out the handle towards her. You have the choice to be whoever you want to be now.
You see, she reaches out for Peacekeeper, hand sort of hovering over the handle. Sort of lightly grasps it. And then pushes it back towards your chest. And he goes, "You've done that Keyblade a lot more better than I could have. And more than I can right now."
Okay. I just wanted you to know that this isn't my life. This isn't my choice. I'm not making the choice to be whoever, I'm not making the choice for you to be who you want to be, and the offer is always going to be there. And if you ever want Peacekeeper back, it's yours.
She nods, she takes her hand, pulls her helmet off, sort of sets it down right in front of Vanitas' unconscious face. You see she kind of lifts her head up to the air, her sort of sharpened axe-like keyblade still in her other hand. She takes a long, deep breath, lets out a loud sigh of relief, and looks to you and goes, "It's kind of hard for me to say, but everything that happened wasn't your fault. And I know I've said that a lot, but it wasn't your actions that caused the village to fall the way it did.
We shouldn't get caught up in whose fault it is and blame this on either one of us, but it seems that your identity was fractured, and I just want to set that back in place.
Take a shot. She turns to the rest of the garden and kind of goes, "The only thing that I guess I can really take credit for was luring that poor kid into this."
You were the one that... I don't...
Well, after we became different people, that kid was one of the first that I still saw that was standing from whatever happened, and that sort of rush of darkness, and, well, with Vanitas still there by my side, he's the reason that his heart and I'm the reason that his Heartless and Nobody got split the way they did. Granted, Mordred was the one that brought Colsax completely to the fold, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was of his own volition.
Was it an order? Did someone else tell him to do that?
Maybe. All I know is that Mordred somehow had some help in the matter. Something about the organization. The way that his Nobody was split from his heart. There was no way he would have been able to be given a purpose that simply. When the organization was formed, Xemnas had some sort of mark. Mordred must have found a way to manipulate it and make one of his own in order to control and give Colsax a purpose.
I see. Well, I think that my friends are trying to help Colsax return to his original self somehow, some way. But you're sure that it was, or you're at least confident that Mordred was the one responsible for the separation?
He was behind getting Colsax into this. Whether he's not the true leader of the Cult of Shadows. Whoever it is trapped behind some sort of nexus of some sort. Mordred was trying to use the rifts to gain power to break through to get to this nexus. Whatever it is, it's definitely messed up with a lot of shit.
Do you know anything else about this nexus?
Whoever's trapped behind it knew stuff that was supposed to happen, but with his knowledge and ability to communicate with Mordred, he thought that he was able to supposedly alter events.
Oh God! Would, out of character question, would Isui know about the foretellers in the Book of Prophecies?
Through your training with Aqua, I'm gonna say give me a history check. How well did you pay attention in class?
Oh boy. I have a 0 in history. That's gonna be a natural 1.
Oh shit. You feel like Aqua might have given you a lesson on that, but you don't remember pretty much anything about it. I mean, You know a little bit about the foretellers because, I mean, Argus, Argus was a key bearer from that time period. But so you know a little bit about the foretellers and the Daybreak Town era because of that. But anything more is kind of sort of out of your knowledgeable reach.
Okay. Is there anything else you should? Is there anything else you want to tell me, Arya, about the cult, or anything that could lead to us taking it down?
Wow. Mordred definitely wouldn't have gotten far into this without Vanitas' help. I know that much. I don't know how the two were able to connect with each other, but they were definitely the original two that started the cult, with the help of whoever this patron asshole is.
You said Mordred and Vanitas were the two founders, and then one more?
They were the founders. They created the cult to do the patrons, their masters' bidding. And then Vanitas recruited me. Mordred then recruited Colsax. We didn't find the Beowulf till almost a month later, and to our surprise, Colsax was able to control it. We still have no idea how the hell that happened. As far as we know, nobodies aren't supposed to be able to have any control over their Heartless, but Mordred said that Colsax was a special case to some extent. I don't even think he knew the exact details. And Colsax, or you see that she's having a hard time kind of saying his true name, and she just kind of always reverts back to his nobody's name. She just kind of goes, whoever he was unexpected. This wasn't somebody that even this mysterious patron knew about, and it was almost the same with Crystalina. Whoever this guy was, he had no idea who either of them were.
So it's a male for sure?
As far as I know.
Okay. I want to let you know that, well, first of all, I know you mentioned the village earlier. I wanted you to know that you don't need to feel regretful anymore. Me and my friends, we sealed that rift, and the people there all came back, and the village is fine. I just wanted you to know that.
You see, for the first time since you've kind of run into Arya, she lets out a bit of a smile, and not necessarily a mischievous, evil, haha, I'm gonna fucking kill you smile. It's the lightest, if ever, smallest, sincerest smile of relief.
I offer her a hug.
And yet another Peter Capaldi Doctor Who moment. But it's almost one of the more heartfelt ones, where you just kind of slowly reach over to an embrace. She kind of sits there, slightly smiling, a little stunned. She's just like, I don't think I'm much of a hugging person. I don't really know, but Thank you.
Yeah. And Arya,
Yeah?
you were not born with malice in your veins. Just remember that.
She nods, kind of looks to you and Ven, and she goes, and you weren't born just to be sacrificed. You have your own life now. Live it how you will.
Are you sure that's okay?
I have made my mistakes. I have to live with that, but I won't have anyone else sacrificing themselves for them. We may have been the same person before, but at this point, I'd say we're almost as close as sisters.
Well, I'm happy that you think of me that way. And if you don't want things to go back to the way that they were before, then at least I want to offer you. And she summons Isui's original Keyblade, the blue rim, and holds it by the blade and holds out the handle towards her. Then, this way, you'll always have a piece of me, and I'll always have a piece of you.
You see Arya just kind of slowly reaches out towards your Keyblade, kind of holds it for a sec, looks to you. You sure?
It's the least I can do.
She nods. She takes your Keyblade, holds it alongside, holds it kind of in front of her other Keyblade in hand. She sort of takes the other Keyblade, sort of strikes it to the ground right next to her helmet. Smiles and she goes, well, I hope that your friends are able to help Colsax. With any luck, he'll be able to go back to how he was.
If you ever change your mind, and you want to go back to the way you were, then you don't even have to ask. It's okay with me.
She nods, starts to turn and walk away, stops for a sec, kind of turns to the side and goes, never give up, even when it comes to those you care about. And for the love of everything, get to a point where you can kiss that dumb boy of yours.
Okay. Just because we're sisters doesn't mean you can tease me. Thank you.
She chuckles a little bit. Turns her head back towards the front of her, your old Keyblade in her hand. and walks not towards a dark corridor, but to a regular door just across the way. And it sort of closes behind her. Not in a sort of creepy, creaking doorway, but in almost a old school Lion Witch in the Wardrobe end credit scene way.
She calls out, goodbye. And, yeah.
And then you get a ring on your gummy front.
Oh, shit.
Let's see. Which one was it that was trying to call Isui? Was it Ken or was it Asta?
It was
That's
Ken.
me.
Caller ID reads as Ken.
Shit.
All right. Hello?
One Mississippi. Hello? Hello, hi.
Hey. What's up?
Oh, sorry. I wanted
Okay.
to say yes, I am just fine. Things have happened. Well, nothing bad, I assume. Well, I mean, at least for Riku, it seems like it's going pretty bad. But I mean, for us, I just got off the phone with Asta, and I just did my thing, and she just did her thing. We are all good now, and we wanted to see how you were faring.
Yeah, sick. So me and Ventus just finished our fight against Vanitas, and Arya actually helped us out, and oh god,
God damn it. Here, I'll change it. Just keep talking.
sick. So
What is with everybody? What's with all the science helping out all of a sudden?
well, managed to convince Arya to join our side, and she's not against us anymore. Did you find out anything about something like a nexus or something like anything like
The
that?
fractured nexus?
Yeah, she mentioned that and was kind of vague. Did you learn anything?
Yes. The fractured nexus, in simple. Well, I mean, it's not really that hard. It's supposed to be like it's a place where their master is residing in. Their master patron thingy thing.
Okay.
Person is hiding,
Mhm.
and they're trying to bring him here to mess up the world.
Okay.
I don't know the entire like whole thing. You know how these the Vanitas and Mordred, you know how they are. But yeah, it's just it seems to be like a realm where their master resides in.
Yeah. Okay. That answers that question. Yeah, Arya was basically saying the same thing. How like Mordred and Vanitas started the cult to do their master's bidding, and the master was there. She said something about like how I don't know if you already learned of this, but like their master like could see events in the future and like was able to change them or something. Did you hear anything about that?
No, I mean unless he's using the rift to do so, but no.
Rifts? Because rifts can mess with like time and space, right?
Yeah, as you saw with Argus.
Yeah. So I don't know, it just weirds me out that like that she would mention that detail specifically, that like he and this person is a he as far as she knows can like see into the future and change the course of events and things happening. I don't know if that has any relevance, but it might just wait. I might have just figured something out.
I think my theory is thrown out the window now that I heard that.
Because do you think that, well, Xehanort was able to time travel, but do you know if he ever saw into the future and then could change the events of that future?
Actually, no. It seems like he just wanted to. When he was older, he went back into the past to grab his younger self. But I never thought of him seeing into the future. The only person that we really know that can do something time or future related is. I don't know.
I don't think we...
Oh my god, I think I know. Oh no.
I might have a guess. I only know that my master mentioned him once or twice before, but I don't really know that much about him. Do you think...
Is it Lushu?
Well, it's entirely possible, but I was thinking...
You know... Good.
I was either gonna say him or the Master of Masters. It could be either one of them.
That's also... Yeah.
Because, well, I don't know that much about them, because Aqua only mentioned them once, and I kind of slept in class when I was younger, so, but...
Now, can I roll a history check to see if I know anything about the Master of Masters?
Yes, you can.
Do we have to hold the phone here the whole time?
Alright, history check. Oh god, I only have one there. So, we'll see.
Come on, kid.
At least it's not a nat 1. It's a 6.
That would have been funny. That would have been funny. So what you can remember is that the Master of the Masters, the Master of Masters was the guy who first started the sort of Keyblade Union in Daybreak Town, where Argus was from. From him, he had the 5 apprentices that led each of the 5 unions. But aside from that, you don't really know much else.
So, either the master is doing this of his own volition, or Lushu. Sorry, I'll wait. Okay.
Sorry. No, sorry.
So either the master is doing this of his own volition and has some other intention, or Lushu was given an order and then rebelled. What do you think is more likely?
It could go either way, honestly.
Do you... Okay.
Well, here,
Yeah, me and Ben are done. You want to meet up somewhere with Asta and stuff, and then we can talk about what to do next?
Yeah, here, let me clean up here. Go ahead and contact Asta. I will be on my way to the main hall.
Okay, for sure. We will meet you there.
Alright.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Alright, and I'll be right back.
Alright.
Okay.
I call Asta's phone.
All right, you call Asta. Asta, you get a ring-a-ding-dong on your phone.
Hello, how's it going?
Hey! Our fight just wrapped up. How did yours go?
It went well. Colsax is looking a little less evil.
Okay, sick. Well, I do have some good news. We beat up Vanitas. He's unconscious. And Arya actually helped us, so she's on our side now. Pretty sick shit, right? So me and Ken have some information. First of all, did you hear anything about some Nexus bullshit or anything like that?
Oh, the fractured nexus? Yeah, that seems to be part of what has control over Colsax.
Okay. Oh, it's controlling him.
Something along the lines of that. Somebody in there is helping Mordred control people with this mark on their neck?
Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Well, me and Ken have some information that we just learned as well. To summarize, basically, I'm pretty sure you already know, but like Mordred and Vanitas were the ones that started the cult, and then yeah, there was this guy who for sure is a male, is in the Nexus, and like they started it to do their master's bidding, and then it went downhill from there. And then like there's the person in the Nexus can like see into the future and like change the events as if it's like a prophecy or something. So like it's some crazy time manipulation bullshit.
Damn, the music hit.
So, do you have any idea of this?
There are two people that me and Ken are suspecting. They're like, so there are two historical figures. There's one, his name is Lushu, and the other one is his master. And he's got the sickest title ever. He goes by the Master of Masters. And basically, like, oh shit, I wouldn't know that. Basically, just like a long time ago, they had the capability to see into the future and shit. So that's why we're thinking it's one of those two.
That would make sense, but I don't know how we're supposed to go against somebody that can change the future.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I didn't really think about that. Do you think this person knows we're having this conversation right now?
They probably know what we're about to say next.
Ugh, that's crazy. Tax exemption. Do you think they predicted that?
How if I know?
Well, so me and Ken and Ventus as well are gonna meet up in like the main hallway area in a little bit. I think Ken said he wanted to like clean something up really quick. But yeah, if you want to just meet us in the main hall, we will be there in like 10 minutes.
Alright, yeah, I can go Selena.
Alright, sick. Oh, how is Crystalina, by the way?
She's unconscious, but she'll be fine.
Okay, well, I'll take your word for it. You... well, you've done a bunch of healing magic shit before. I trust you. Well...
Yeah. See you in a minute.
Okay. See ya.
Alright. You guys hang up your phone calls. You guys make your way over to the main hall of the Castle of Shadows. I'm gonna say at this point Crystalina is conscious. A little exhausted to hell, but she's conscious, she's alive, and she's not dead.
Alright. Seems I was right to trust you.
Ven travels along with you. Not long after, you see that Riku and the other Keyblade Masters start to make their way into the hall as well and look out to you guys. Aqua immediately sees you, Isui, and just goes, Isui! Kind of just like waves her hand over to you.
Hey.
Hey, you doing okay?
Yeah. Can I ask you, maybe this isn't the time or place for it, actually, never mind.
I have returned.
Yeah.
Welcome
Ken, you make your way into the main hall. You see Isui there. You see Asta there. Kristalina is conscious but tired. And all the other Keyblade Masters have finally made their way into the Great Hall as well.
Oh, so they cleared out everything?
You can assume so.
Nice. Alright, he's like, oh, hi, everyone.
Hey, Ken.
Riku looks over. Riku heads over to you and he's like, Ken, what did you do to your hair?
I didn't do anything. Well,
He's,
I'll
yeah, you see everyone is just kind of looking confused and you're just like, yeah, but you got the kind of does the motion and kind of like is suggesting the sections of your hair that are white.
Oh, this. I'll tell you guys about it whenever we like are actually like not tense in the middle of a dark castle.
Right. Well, most of the Heartless are taken care of out front. Surprisingly, we actually had a little bit of help. One of the cult members actually ended up walking out and just started slashing the ever-living hell out of the Heartless.
What did they look like?
Mm-hmm.
You see Axel walks over and he's like, it was Arya, no doubt about that. She just simply started walking out like freaking AC/DC was playing. It's now canon that AC/DC exists in Kingdom Hearts. You can't tell me otherwise.
Yes.
She's just walking out there. Some sort of thunderstruck shit was going on. Next thing you know, she is slashing Heartless like crazy.
Huh.
Oh, so that's who was coming out of the castle. You told me. Okay.
Oh yeah. By the way, Arya's good now, guys. If you see her, don't attack her because she has decided to be cool.
Well, I mean, as evident because she just came out of the castle slashing.
Felt like I should
not us.
verbally. But...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aqua nodded and she looks to you, Isui, and is like, I got worried for a second because she was wielding your Keyblade, and I thought something might have happened.
Oh, yeah. So,
Isui, what did you do?
well, long story. I gave Arya my Keyblade. Yeah, yeah.
You can do that?
As long as the Keyblade chooses you, you can wield any Keyblade.
This is true, yeah.
Aqua 10 looks at you guys and is like, well, I mean, Sora used Master Ericus's Keyblade for a time before giving it to me, and then I used it, and then I got my own Keyblade back, but and Axel is just looking at around, it's like, yeah, no, this whole Keyblade thing is a little weird, like, Aqua, I don't even know what happened to your Keyblade, and then Sora just kind of pulled that other one out of the blue and whatnot, and then there's Riku. He still has this weird, dumb-looking thing. You see Riku with his giant, not key-looking Keyblade, car key, and he's like, "Hey, it's not like I had a choice." And looking at this, and Axel's like, "Are you kidding me? Even Mickey's looked a lot better than that."
Alright. We can go on and on all day about how whose Keyblade looks better than whose, but
yeah, you see Riku and Axel start to have a bit of a argument for a sec, and then Sion just kind of steps in and is like, hey, boys, put your Keyblades away, and let's focus on the thing at hand.
Now, I assume, well, at least from what Asta told me, we seem to have everything, like, well, at least 3 of the members down and now 4, because, I mean, what was it called? Vanitas is kind of
Vanitas is unconscious.
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, Vent's
So-
like, yeah, no, we beat the crap out of him.
Did you guys at least bring him here?
Oh.
Then
why didn't you go?
don't look
This
at
is-
me. You're the one that was having the.
Ven,
You're the one that was having that conversation with
You're
Arya.
supposed to
This is-
pick up my slack, Ven. That's why you came with me. Oh, God.
This is the second time,
No,
guys.
listen, no, it was an honest mistake. We were caught up in a bunch of shit.
Oh my god.
Well, let's just go there right now. He should still be unconscious. Let's just go there right now.
Leave.
Okay, come on, Ben. Let's go.
Get him.
Let's collect.
Right.
Collect him.
We better get him before
you guys-
somebody else does.
You guys run off. Tara looks to the rest of you, and he's like, so the rest of the Cult of Shadows, Colsax, your dark version of yourself, that just leaves Mordred to take care of.
Oh, we also have some nice information on this void of on this fractured nexus. And so apparently they're using this thing, they're trying to bring their master, the thing that they use the cult to worship, from this void, from this nexus to kind of, do his own thing here. And Isui was saying that Arya was saying that this person could can manipulate time and space. So we had two options of who it might be. Oh wait, I forgot. Isui's not here.
We got him.
All right. Now, good timing. Now, Isui. What were the two people that we were thinking of?
Right. So there are two potential suspects here. One is Lushu, and the other is the Master of Masters. And we think that either of these people could be potential culprits because both of them had the ability to see into the future and potentially change the course of some events. But wait, who's the? Oh shit! Never mind. She wouldn't know that.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
You see Roxas, Shion, and Axel trying to think for a second. He's like, well, I don't know. Well, and Roxas kind of goes, well, I don't know about the Master of Masters, but Lushu, when we knew him as Zigbar, he didn't. Well, then he didn't have that weird thing, but he didn't really seem like he could see into the future or anything like that. And even if he did, it's not like he would have the ability to. There's a difference between seeing into the future and being able to change the future. You see
But
Tara
that's-
think for a s-
Ken kind of interjects and he's like, well, that's the reason why we think the Master of Masters might be a thing. While he is meant to, I think he is meant to, as far from my knowledge, he's not meant to interfere or do anything like that, but he's the only person I know who has a view on the future with his Keyblade.
You see Terra and Aqua kind of think this over, and they're like, well, that may be true, but if he was sworn to not interfere with time itself, then who would know what would happen if he actually broke that oath? So I'm not entirely sure if that would be a viable option either.
Wait.
I mean-
broke the oath. we know that if he broke the oath, something would happen to him, because if you mess with the universe, like, it messes with you back. So there's a potential that he did something timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, and got shunted in to, like, this fractured nexus as some sort of punishment or something. And then Mordred and Vanitas are trying to get him out of that.
Okay.
Terra kind of nods and is like, it's possible, but what would cause him to break his oath?
Something, maybe. Do we know if the Master? Maybe he wanted to prevent someone's death, or maybe he wanted to. Maybe he was particularly interested in someone or something in our time, and he tried to get it, or maybe, again, like, prevented someone's death. If he loved someone, maybe he wanted to keep them around, or maybe he was disappointed in Lucian or something.
Probably so.
Aqua kind of thinks for a second. It's like, no, that wouldn't necessarily add up. He had 5 apprentices, and all he left for them was a book explaining how future events would occur, and that almost led to all 5 of them fighting each other in the Keyblade War. If he wanted to prevent someone that he cared about from dying or having negative events, then that would have been one of the biggest times that he could have done it. But at this point, I'd say that it would be one of the more viable options we have right now.
Now, okay, I have a thing. I have a theory. What if it's not either one of them? But yeah, okay, okay. What if one of them is just using a person that we've known as a facade that we've seen before?
Oh.
What if, now hear me out, what if it's Argus?
Oh, wait.
Because, I mean, think about it. When we first witnessed him, like, come to the place that we were in, he mentioned about how they came to him, kind of, but, you know, he eventually had to go back to his time, and who know? Yeah, while he could have been one of the, you know, key bearers in one of the camps of those guys, he could have also just been a person or something bigger, using Argus as a facade, trying to get more information out of us.
But
that's because, I mean, think about it. No one else from that time has appeared here.
That's true, but but the thing is that, like, the cultists that we talked to said that Mordred and Vanitas were trying, well, at least when the cult started, their master was in the Nexus. So unless they already accomplished their goal and Argus is already here out of the Nexus, I mean, that's possible. But then, at that point, why continue with the rifts if Argus is already here, outside of it?
That's the reason. I get the feeling that we did something that we weren't supposed to do. Maybe when we sent him back, that kind of...
Oh, I see what you're saying. He got put back in the place that he was brought out of.
You see everyone kind of thinks for a sec. Riku kind of looks up and is like, well, I mean, I don't have any other options. You guys? You see they all kind of shake their head and mutters like, no, I don't have any ideas. And it's like, Riku just kind of turns to you guys and goes, either way, the only person that can give us complete answers is Mordred.
Great.
You guys feel like kicking his ass?
Oh my god, yes I do.
Always.
Now, if only one of the people that we beat kind of stayed with us, and I kind of wish Arya had stuck around for a little bit, because then she can kind of show us the way. Because now she's not one of them. I mean,
She had her own shit to do.
Where'd she go, though?
I don't know.
All three of you guys give me perception checks, actually.
Oh.
Just standing there in the middle of the on the side of the room.
Yes, hello.
All right, 24.
Ooh.
Not 20.
Okay.
No, it's a 24.
Oh, damn.
What's my perception mod?
Wait, you have a +4 to perception?
I have a +5 to perception.
Oh,
I have
damn.
a +6 to perception.
I only have 5.
Listen here,
Damn,
alright?
you guys are perceptive as hell.
Except for Isui, rolling that
Except
dirty
for
13.
Isui.
Of course, don't even know I teleport. Get that
Isui.
shit out of here.
Man.
Isui, what do you got?
A 13 total.
Ken,
Me.
what do you got?
24.
Asta, what about you?
21.
Okay. Ken and actually all three of you guys, as Ken kind of says, 13's not that low.
Well, hey.
As you guys sort of talk and Ken is just like, yeah, no, I wish one of the others were still around to kind of show us where to go. You hear a clatter from across the hall. You guys sort of look that way. There's a open doorway that you know was not there before. And even if it was sure as hell not open.
So he's gonna summon his Keyblade instantly. He'd be like,
Yeah. Isui's gonna put the light cantrip on tip for Keyblade.
You light up your Keyblade. You kind of walk over. There is a sort of mini hallway through this door. A little too dark for you to see even with the light cantrip. But what you guys can tell is that someone definitely just recently opened this door.
Is it a big empty room?
You don't know.
Oh shit.
alright, stand back, everyone. My time to shine.
Oh no.
Here
I
we
was
go.
made from the shadows. Oh, got insert Bane reference here. Anyway.
Oh shit.
He's gonna just slowly just like walk into the room. He's gonna be like, "All right, now, it's kind of odd how you just do that after I say something about it. How about you come on out and we don't have to, hurt ya more than we already have your teammates."
Come on.
Is anyone following him through?
From a distance, yes.
I will. I'll be at his side, yeah.
All right. You guys start to make your way through this sort of mini hall. Kind of is a little more dimly lit than the hall you just came out of. The stone itself seems to also be made of a sort of darker, blacker stone. Once you guys start to feel like you're making your way into another room, even as dark as it is, you guys can tell that this place is very, very empty. The only things that you can truly feel for this point is a sort of line of not necessarily carpet. Everyone calls it the red carpet, even though it's just like a sort of like a velveteen line of cloth. Once you guys sort of make your way into this room out from where the hallway was, you feel your feet touch this sort of soft and velvet cloth on the floor after walking on cobblestone for a time. You light up the room a bit with your cantrip, and just as all of you sort of make your way into this room, and as the last of you kind of take your step in, a barrier instantly covers the doorway behind you.
Oh, shit.
Sconces on the walls start to lightly illuminate a purplish hue. And from the other side of the hall, you see Mordred with two Soldier Heartless behind him. Sorry, I thought I was going to get you the battle map, but you see him with two Soldier Heartless right next to him. Sort of smiling. It's like,
look who finally decided to show up.
He smiles and he goes, and look at who has finally come to die. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
The boy who lived come to die.
Thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned next week for the final boss fight of the first part of Final Arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are almost done with we're almost done with part 1 of Final Arc. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you want to see this campaign from the beginning to see what the fuck's going on, or if you want to see any of our other campaigns, such as Trader's Medallion or The Whisper of Winter, head over to... Oh, sorry, my mouth was watered. Head over to YouTube, at The Swinging Swordsman. All of our wacky adventures are there. Until then, we will see you guys next time.
Okay.
Goodbye, streamers and dreamers.
How do you say goodbye?
Do not